How much sugar is in a school lunch? Let's talk about it. Hey health heroes, welcome back to Autoimmune, the channel all about helping you improve your autoimmune health naturally. Like you saw in the title of this video, I'm going to talk about kids and sugar, something I'm very passionate about. I decided to make this video because I spent some time in a school cafeteria today, and the amount of sugar they were eating, well, it was a bit shocking to me. And when I mentioned it to the staff there, they couldn't believe it either. They didn't realize how much sugar they were actually consuming. So it got me thinking, maybe some parents don't realize how much sugar their kids are actually consuming. And that's when I realized I have to make this video. So what were kids eating that was so sugary, Adam? Well, school foods are supposedly based on the federal guidelines to be nutritious and balanced, but I'm gonna let you be the judge. So the kids had two options for their protein: hot dog on a bun or a cheese stick, and the cheese stick came with a yogurt and a chocolate muffin. So the hot dog, I'm not even going to get into that because, you know, I think we all know what kids eat. We all were kids and we all had school meals, lasagna and pizza and everything else. So, I mean, that's probably no surprise. But what is a surprise to me is how much sugar was in the other option, the cheese stick with the yogurt and the chocolate muffin. So let's break it down. The kids were allowed to pick either white or chocolate milk. The white milk was reduced fat and the chocolate milk was fat-free. So what do they put in fat-free milk to make it taste so good? Because fat's good. Sugar, 22 grams in a chocolate milk. That's a little tiny little pint for a child, 22 grams. That's almost half the amount of a Coke, a can of Coke. How many grams of sugar were in this little tiny yogurt? 15 grams. Quite a bit. I mean, that's not even like the base yogurt that you can buy, you know, that only has a little bit of sugar in it. Where are they getting this yogurt from? Yoplait? Might as well be serving cotton candy for lunch. I'm sure the kids would love that too. And then, of course, the chocolate muffin. It had 17 grams. This isn't even for a treat. This is just a regular day meal. How much sugar is that altogether? 54 grams of sugar. Wow! Let's compare that to the American Heart Association's recommended limit of sugar for a child, 25 grams. 25 grams. And that's less than 25 grams. That's not, oh, you can eat 25 grams a day. No, because it's recommended not to eat that amount, okay? Because there's no nutritional value in sugar, is there? There's not even any fiber in it. Let's compare that to the limit of an adult, which is 25 grams to 37 grams. But that's, again, the limit on the far amount. That's not saying, oh, you can eat this and be fine. That's like suggesting that you only have one cigarette a day. I mean, probably better not to have any, right? But if you're gonna have one, you know, obviously you could have negative side effects down the road, but there's a limit. But Adam, sugar is natural. It comes from sugarcane. Yeah, but sugarcane is a grain, technically a grass, right? And we can't even eat these things in nature. Do you know how many sugarcane stalks you'd have to eat to get a spoonful of sugar? It'd be a lot. I mean, you can't do that unless you're a beautiful, majestic panda. Although that's bamboo, not sugarcane. And some kids were going back for seconds of the chocolate milk. So, and that doesn't even include the ketchup and the other natural sugars that they were getting from the fruits and vegetables that they were served. So if you add up all that, it's going to be a whole lot more. And that's not even thinking about the food that they're going to eat when they get home, the snack or the dinner or the dessert. You know, probably some of these kids are getting over 100 grams of sugar a day. It's unbelievable. Just the sugar that was served today, I could not believe it. It really took me back. I cannot believe that happened. These kids were served over the double limit for a grown adult male. It blows my mind. Do you think it's okay? Are you okay with your kids eating this much sugar? Do you even know how much sugar your kids are consuming? Do you? Somebody needs to be held accountable for that. Now, one of those foods, the chocolate muffin or the chocolate milk or the yogurt, one of those on their own probably isn't going to make too much difference, you know, down the road maybe, but all three of these together, that adds up to be quite a bit of sugar. and there are some negative consequences that will go along with those. Experts have said that studies have shown that excess sugar doesn't lead to hyperactivity, but that kind of goes in the face of what every parent pretty much already knows, right? These are probably coming from the same experts that believe the studies coming from the tobacco companies for decades. What they will admit is a child with ADHD or hyperactivity is ultra-sensitive to eating sugar, and that it may lead to altered behavior. So what they're basically saying is there's no reason to change a child's diet until they're already damaged. Smart. So what can we say sugar is doing to our kids today? Well, first off, it makes them picky eaters. When they have an option to eat sweeter things, they're always going to choose that, because humans have been adapted to crave the most concentrated, sweet things in nature. It's human nature. One of the most common side effects that sugar can have on children are cold-like symptoms, chronic runny nose, cough, croup, trouble breathing, and symptoms of sinus infection. Not to mention tooth decay, an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, obesity, and of course all the health factors that go along with that. Some kids may even be diagnosed with allergies without the formal testing, then prescribed medication, but the symptoms may be just due to excess sugar in their diet. And still, some people are completely oblivious to the risk that these foods have on their children's health. Not only is sugar an issue though, but the combination of eating sugar and dairy together. It is very acidic and takes longer to digest, meaning that food can come back up the esophagus, causing acid reflux. And I know all about acid reflux. That was probably one of my first autoimmune symptoms I ever had. Thankfully, I was able to completely reverse that with the AIP diet. But I feel for these children because they don't know. They don't know that their diet is causing these issues. They're just given over-the-counter medication to mask these symptoms. And these medications will block the acid in their stomach. But these acids are there for a reason, right? Could this be the cause of some autoimmune diseases? You could just mail me my Nobel Prize. That's fine. Let's talk a moment about the child's immune system. There are certain gut bacteria that we actually need, not only for digesting food, but to produce vitamins and to protect us from germs and disease. But what happens when you introduce refined sugar? Something they probably never would have had in nature. Very rarely if they did. Well, the balance of good to bad gut bacteria is thrown off, resulting in a weakened immune system. Do you have a kid that's always sick, always has a cough, can't focus, listen, behavior is out of control? Well, maybe you should be looking at how much sugar they're eating. So should you pack lunch for your kid to send them to school, or just eat a regular school lunch? Well, if you're just gonna pack a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and Pringles with M&Ms, don't even bother. But again, if you're that parent, then you're probably not watching this anyway. Don't even get me started on breakfast. Pop-Tarts? Really? A long time ago, someone got it in their head that fat was the enemy. And that is some wrong thinking. Now, obviously, I'm going to say quality matters, right? The source of the fat is definitely an issue. But overall, we've taken out the fat and we've added sugar. Sugar comes in to save the day. But unfortunately, everyone's dying from diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Oopsie! Somehow a simple apology just doesn't seem appropriate anymore. We all can admit our health has declined dramatically, right? The health of our nation is at jeopardy. And schools aren't evil places. They have some awesome food programs. Sometimes they bring produce to school, a variety of different fruits and vegetables that children wouldn't normally get a chance to taste, and that is really awesome. And other times there's programs where they start gardens in schools and kids have a chance to garden and learn how to grow their own food, and sometimes they even cook with it in the kitchen so they can be proud of the food that they're eating. That's amazing. We actually had a garden at our school when I was a kid, and I thought it was just the best thing ever. We were so proud of ourselves. For a short time, I worked in a prison kitchen, not as an inmate, I was a kitchen supervisor. I gotta say, I saw absolutely no difference in the food between the prison and the school, except for the portion sizes. They get a surprising amount of food in a prison. What I want to leave you with is, what we feed our kids today has a dramatic effect on our country's health tomorrow. I didn't know that foods could affect my health in the way that they did. I especially didn't know it as a kid. And these kids don't know, but it's our job to protect them. We have to show them the way. And I feel like I was a little disappointed from what I've seen today. I think we can do better. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Do you know what your kid's eating? If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, share the video, and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you next time.